Timelines and quantum reality. What if I told you that the reality you're living is only one of countless threads weaving through the cosmic loom of existence? Imagine for a moment that time is not linear, but a living spiral, echoing infinitely in all directions, each loop a distinct timeline, vibrating with its own frequency. The life you currently experience is not the only one available to you. It's simply the one your inner frequency has locked onto. And yet, the vast majority of people remain trapped in repetitive loops, not because of fate, nor karma, nor bad luck, but because their emotional resonance never changes. These loops are not prisons built by the universe. They are reflections built by the self. Behind this veil lies a deeper truth, hidden in texts long forbidden. Reality bends not to desire, but to vibration. And the vibration you emit is the gatekeeper to every other possible existence. In the ancient scrolls of the Egyptian mystery schools and the Gnostic Gospels cast into shadow, there are whispers of multi-dimensional existence. These forbidden texts describe timelines as spiraling frequencies, each aligned with specific levels of consciousness. When we live in states of guilt, fear, or regret, we unknowingly synchronize with timelines of stagnation, where doors remain shut and signs appear mute. Yet in moments of elevated emotion, joy, love, presence, we glimpse the edges of alternate lives brushing against our own. These are not coincidences, but echoes. These coincidences are cracks in the matrix, allowing flashes of a life that's already unfolding elsewhere. This is not metaphor, it is the language of cosmic energy encoded within the very architecture of your consciousness. Your timeline is not fixed, it is chosen moment by moment through frequency. The human system, body, mind, and emotion acts as a quantum tuning fork. It is constantly broadcasting signals into the energetic grid, aligning with timelines that match its vibration. This is not new knowledge. Ancient mystics, from the Vedics to the Hermetists, guarded this wisdom, veiling it in sacred symbols and metaphors. Their alchemy was never about turning lead into gold, but ignorance into awareness, a shift not of matter, but of state. And once you understand this, the rules of manifestation shift. You're not here to chase outcomes in a single timeline. You're here to awaken to the truth that you're walking amidst infinite versions of your life, all awaiting your resonance to collapse them into experience. The secret, long hidden in the folds of Sabadoria Ancestral, is that choice is vibration made visible. And yet people ask, why am I stuck? They look outward, blaming circumstance or unseen forces, while never realizing that the lock was never outside them. Your timeline is a mirror, polished by every emotion you indulge, every thought you recycle, every belief you refuse to challenge. The prison isn't made of steel, it's forged from forgotten awareness. From within the mysterious occultos of quantum teachings, there emerges a truth long rejected. You cannot escape the current pattern while remaining emotionally attuned to it. To see another reality, you must first feel differently. To shift time, you must shift self. This is the essence of Alquimia Interior. It's not an escape, it's an activation, a frequency-based return to your cosmic inheritance. This explains why desire alone cannot liberate you. Wanting a new life while emotionally feeding the old one is like trying to tune into a new radio station while clinging to static. The quantum field is not fooled by performance. It responds only to coherence. You may pray, affirm, visualize, but if your nervous system still trembles in fear, it is the tremble that speaks louder. In the dance of timelines, your soul is the rhythm, and your feelings are the beat. Each emotion is a key, unlocking or closing paths within the quantum spiral. And this is where the journey turns inward, not as retreat, but as revelation. For The true power to shift timelines lies not in escaping your world, but in learning how to embody a new one, vibrationally, emotionally, spiritually. But what does that really mean? And how can desire mislead more than guide? That's where we must go next. The power of alignment over desire. So, if desire isn't the key, what is? This is the question that has echoed through temples lost beneath the sands and across scrolls hidden in underground sanctuaries. Humanity has long believed that wanting something badly enough would cause the heavens to stir, that desperation could open doors. But the quantum field, the very canvas upon which all realities are painted, does not respond to longing. It responds to vibration. This distinction is subtle, yet foundational. In the realm of Energia Cosmica, your frequency is your command. Desire without coherence is noise. Alignment, however, is the melody that the universe dances to. The ancient alchemists didn't crave gold. They became gold in spirit, vibration, and presence. And in that becoming, they aligned with the timeline where gold was a reflection, not a pursuit. There's an illusion many fall into, that affirmations, vision boards, and visualizations will shift reality if repeated often enough. But without emotional congruence, these rituals become hollow echoes. Say, "I am abundant," while your nervous system contracts in scarcity, and the field will reflect contraction. Whisper, "I am loved," while secretly fearing abandonment, and the field will mirror loneliness. The dominant frequency always wins, not the loudest voice, but the most consistent emotional resonance. The field listens not with ears, but with energy. And so these ancient practices were never about repetition alone. They were about emotional embodiment. The teachings inscribed in textos prohibidos across ancient civilizations spoke often of emotional alchemy, the art of transmuting internal states until they matched divine design. When you align, truly align with the vibration of what you seek, manifestation becomes magnetic. Not because you are pulling it from afar, but because you are becoming the frequency of the timeline in which it already exists. In this way, you are not summoning the future, you are remembering it. This is the essence of Illuminação Espiritual, not reaching upward but falling inward into the version of self that already walks in harmony with the desired outcome. It is no wonder the mystics spoke in paradox. For what we chase runs, but what we embody appears. In this dance of energetic reflection, the universe serves as both canvas and mirror. And so, alignment is not a matter of hoping, it is a matter of becoming. This is why desperation repels. It signals to the quantum field that you and the desired reality are still separate. It vibrates lack, division, and fear. These are the very threads that tether you to your current loop. And yet, within the rituals preserved in Sabedoria Ancestral, there are practices designed not to amplify desire, but to dissolve resistance. Breathwork, sacred chants, posture rituals, and silence were not meant to beg the universe. They were designed to bring the practitioner into alignment with cosmic rhythms. When aligned, action is guided, time bends, and reality organizes itself around you. It's not magic. It's ancient technology encoded into the human spirit. So the real question becomes, can you release the need for what you want and instead become the embodiment of its vibration? Can you stop performing abundance and start living as if it already surrounds you? These are the riddles the ancient schools posed, knowing that the answer could only come from experience, not intellect. True alignment begins when you no longer chase your desire, but when you realize it's already looking for you, if only you could vibrate in its direction. And that brings us to the real battleground, the subconscious mind. For even if your conscious self aligns, what of the hidden codes running silently beneath awareness? Subconscious programming and resistance. Beneath every conscious affirmation lies an ocean of unspoken truth, a hidden architecture of belief, emotion, and memory that guides your life more than you dare to admit. Scientists now estimate that over 95% of human behavior is dictated by the subconscious mind. But this is not new. The custodians of Sabadoria Ancestral knew this long before it was measured in labs. They taught that the subconscious is the true temple of creation, a sacred altar where intentions are either empowered or denied. In the esoteric manuscripts buried beneath cathedrals and sealed away in ancient libraries, the subconscious was likened to a serpent, quiet, coiled, and potent. It guards the gates to all timelines and determines which doors remain open. And here lies the paradox. While your conscious self dreams of flight, your subconscious may still fear the fall. Resistance is rarely obvious. It doesn't scream, it whispers. It shows up as procrastination, emotional numbness, chronic indecision, or a subtle dread that clings to your bones. These are not character flaws, they are defense mechanisms encoded by past experiences. Imagine your subconscious as an ancient scribe, recording every pain, every rejection, every perceived failure, and using those memories as filters to keep you safe. So when you say, "I want love," but tremble at the memory of heartbreak, the scribe tightens the gate. When you declare, "I choose abundance, yet flinch at risk," the same gatekeeper denies passage. This is not sabotage, it is protection based on outdated data. And until this inner guardian is updated through Alchimia Interior, the field remains unresponsive. What ancient mystics knew, and what modern seekers forget, is that the subconscious cannot be overwritten with logic alone. It must be transformed through ritual, emotion, and repetition. Emotional alchemy was always central to the mysteries, because the only way to shift the gate is to make the gatekeeper trust a new reality is safe. In sacred rites long buried in textos prohibidos, initiates were guided through symbolic death and rebirth, confronting fears, releasing shame, and reprogramming the vibrational imprint of their being. Today, we rename these practices inner child work, shadow integration, or somatic therapy. But they are not new. They are echoes of an ancient science of soul healing. A science written not in books, but in vibration. The great spiritual paradox is this: you do not attract what you desire, you attract what you are subconsciously aligned with. That's why someone can do everything right in manifestation, vision boards, scripting, gratitude lists, yet receive nothing but silence from the universe. Because underneath it all lies resistance. Not resistance to the desire, but resistance to what the desire represents. Freedom, exposure, responsibility, vulnerability, these trigger wounds buried deep within. And so, the quantum field reflects not the surface wish, but the hidden signal. The field reads energy like a sacred scroll, unfiltered and unedited. Until you revise your energetic signature, no amount of effort will collapse a new timeline. And here is the truth that turns shadows into light. Your resistance is not an enemy, it is a map. Every place where you hesitate, self-sabotage, or retreat in fear points to an unhealed part of the self. Follow these signs, and they will lead you not just to healing, but to power. These blocks are not curses, they are invitations. Hidden within them is the very energy you need to leap timelines. But to access it, you must stop running. You must meet your fear, your grief, your doubt, and transmute them through conscious embodiment. For only then can you become the living key that unlocks the path to your future. And so we arrive at the threshold of transformation, not through thought, but through embodiment. But how does one live a new timeline before it exists? That is where the true mystery begins. Embodiment as the true shift in every sacred tradition. There exists a silent teaching, one that was never written, only transmitted from master to initiate through presence alone. That teaching is this: to embody is to become. Not to wish, not to pretend, not to repeat, but to live the vibration so deeply that the universe forgets you were ever anything else. True transformation is not conceptual, it is cellular. It happens when your breath, your posture, your tone, your choices all vibrate in unison with the timeline you claim. The ancient mystery schools called this living prophecy, for when the initiate began acting as though the miracle had already occurred, the world responded accordingly. You shift reality not when you speak of it, but when you embody the frequency that births it. The wisdom hidden in textos prohibidos, from the Gospel of Thomas to the Emerald Tablets, reveals a pattern. The sacred is not accessed through longing, but through embodiment. Yeshua did not say, "Believe and you will see," but rather, "Be as if you have already received." This is not metaphor, it is metaphysics. To shift timelines, you must become the anchor point of a new frequency. This requires radical coherence. Your thoughts, feelings, and actions must all reflect the vibration of your desired state. This is why small, aligned actions are more powerful than grand, misaligned gestures. A quiet decision rooted in integrity shakes the quantum field more than 1,000 loud declarations born of fear. The mystics knew embodiment is the most advanced form of prayer, but embodiment is not a performance, it is a remembrance, a return to the soul's original frequency before it was entangled in fear, doubt, or shame. This is the true meaning of Alchimia Interior, the transmutation of fragmented identity into divine wholeness. Every time you choose to act in alignment with your highest self, even when the external world offers no proof, you collapse timelines of limitation and open portals of possibility. The universe, governed by Energia Cosmica, cannot deny coherence. It is drawn to it like a magnet. And so, when you walk with the posture of one who is already free, already loved, already abundant, the quantum responds not as a favor, but as a reflection. Many believe they must first achieve the desired reality to feel the emotions they seek. But this is the great reversal of cause and effect. In the hidden teachings of the Essenes and the scrolls of Zohar, it was taught that emotion precedes experience, that joy is not the result of manifestation but the cause. Feel first, act now, become before it arrives. This is how timelines collapse, not by chasing them, but by folding into them through vibration. Embodiment is the secret most overlooked because it is subtle. It requires no performance, no convincing, no external validation, only a deep inner shift where your energy speaks louder than your words. And once this shift occurs, everything around you bends to meet it. So the question is no longer how do I manifest it, but how do I live it now? Not someday, not when it feels safe, but now as a sacred act of creation. For every moment you live from the vibration of the old timeline, you delay the arrival of the new. But when you embody the shift, even in the smallest gestures, you begin to magnetize the version of you that already exists beyond the veil. And from this space of living alignment, we arrive at the final initiation, the daily practices that sustain the shift, the rituals that restore coherence when life pulls you back. Because even the awakened must return again and again to their sacred center. Practices for daily alignment. Once the embodiment begins, the question shifts from awakening to sustaining. How do we remain aligned when the world around us still vibrates in chaos, fear, and distraction? The ancient sages knew this struggle well, which is why they created practices, daily, symbolic, and sacred, to stabilize the soul's vibration. These were never mere rituals of devotion. They were frequency calibration tools designed to anchor the initiate in higher timelines. From breath control in Tibetan monasteries to posture alignment in yogic science, each practice encoded the same hidden truth. The body is the altar, the breath is the prayer, and coherence is the offering. Through repetition, the nervous system is rewired, and the field begins to respond not to intention alone, but to energetic consistency. Micro-alignment is the art of weaving the sacred into the mundane. It's not about perfection, it's about coherence. The way you pour your tea, the words you choose in a conversation, the decision to pause before reacting, all of these moments are doorways. The field is listening at every moment, not just when you're meditating or journaling. This is why alignment must become a way of being, not just a scheduled ritual. One breath of conscious awareness, one act of mindful spending, one honest expression of emotion, each recalibrates the signal. In this, we rediscover Sabadoria Ancestral not as something lost, but as something lived. You do not need a temple when your every gesture becomes one. You do not need a guru when your daily life becomes your initiation. Among the most powerful tools are breathwork, posture correction, and symbolic rituals such as the 369 method, first whispered in Tesla's enigmatic notes, then echoed in modern manifestation circles, but their origin is far older. Ancient scrolls describe similar numerological patterns used in Atlantis and Lemuria to encode intention into vibration. These rituals weren't about numbers. They were about anchoring intent across dimensions. When done with presence, these techniques become mirrors through which the quantum responds. Every inhale is a reset. Every posture is a signal. Every repetition is a declaration. I am aligned with the reality I choose. And through this alignment, timelines bend. But no practice, however sacred, can protect you from the human experience of misalignment. You will falter, you will forget, you will feel the pull of old patterns. And this is not failure, it is invitation. The mystics taught that returning to alignment is the highest form of mastery. The power is not in never falling, but in remembering how to rise, how to realign, how to return. Each return is a recalibration that deepens your frequency. It tells the field, I choose this again. And with each choice, the new timeline solidifies. It is in the repetition, not the intensity, that new realities are born. This is the true meaning of Energia Cosmica applied, not in grand miracles, but in steady attunement. So let go of the myth that alignment must be perfect. Let go of the belief that if you miss a ritual, the quantum will punish you. The field is not rigid, it is responsive. It does not demand flawlessness, it echoes devotion. Your consistency, not your performance, is what creates. And as you walk this path of embodied alignment, know this: you're not just creating a new life, you are remembering an ancient one encoded in your very bones, one whispered through the mysterios occultos passed down in forgotten tongues. And now that you hold these tools, what will you build with them? What timeline will you choose next? What if the reality you're living right now is only one layer of a vast, multidimensional spectrum? What if there are countless versions of your life vibrating just beyond your perception, waiting for you to remember how to enter them? This isn't science fiction, this is ancient science forgotten. Throughout the sacred temples of Egypt, in the forbidden scrolls of the Essenes, and among the coded writings of mystics silenced by time, one message repeats itself. Reality is not fixed, it responds to frequency. You are not trapped by fate, you are held in place by vibration. And once you understand how to shift that vibration, reality itself must follow. In this journey, you'll discover the lost teachings of quantum transformation, truths hidden beneath layers of emotional conditioning, cultural programming, and energetic stagnation. We'll unravel the myths of manifestation, decode the language of the subconscious, and unlock the ancient mechanisms of timeline shifting. This is not about positive thinking, It's about energetic embodiment. It's about reclaiming your role as the architect of your own experience through alignment, not desire. So if you've ever felt that you were meant for something more, if you've sensed that you're out of sync with the life you truly came here to live, then you found this video for a reason. Because once you understand this, reality shifts. Before we begin, like this video, subscribe, and share your intuition in the comments, because your voice, your vibration, may be the very key someone else needs to awaken. Now that you've glimpsed the mechanics behind reality's most hidden architecture, let me leave you with this truth. You were never stuck, only out of tune. The universe has always been listening. Every breath, every emotion, every silent belief has been speaking on your behalf. And now that you know the language it responds to, the question becomes inevitable. What timeline will you choose to embody from this moment on? Let that question echo within you. Reflect on the patterns you've lived and the vibrations you've sustained. Then decide, not with fear, not with hope, but with alignment. Because when you live the shift, reality must mirror the new frequency. Share your insights in the comments. Your awakening might be the spark for someone else's transformation. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell so you never miss a transmission of esoteric truth.